Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I hope you are having a great day. In today's video, we have the last update of this story, at least until now. The links to the videos with original story, and with others updates, are in the description. Go watch it first if you haven't yet. But if you have, let's start. Update, how things are going. My mom really badly wants me to go with her on vacation. Didn't think I'd be posting again so soon, but I feel like writing something, so why not? Well, I have started reading the summer reading list. The first one I read was Frankenstein cause I was most excited for it and it did not disappoint. I really liked that book, it was so good. I felt so bad for Frankenstein, like his brother's nanny and his wife didn't deserve to die just cause he was selfish. It made sense he was a modern Prometheus, cause he can't be as good as Prometheus, cause he lives in a more modern world. My girlfriend and I watched the Robert De Niro movie together and it was really good too, but not as good as the book. I also read The Great Gatsby and it was good, but not as good, and I have started Moby Dick. As for Anna Karenina, I only read the first part, but I like it better than the movie so far. Anna isn't even the main character, that's a guy named Levin, and he's an interesting character. He's smart even though he's a simple farmer. I liked all the thinking that he does, it makes him seem real, even if the author writes dialogue or thoughts in a way that nobody would ever actually talk or think. What surprised me was how modern it was. There's stuff that tells you it's in the past, like receiving guests or telegram or how to start a fireplace. But there's also stuff like working in an office, how Levin works on a farm, a public skating rink, them just having coffee in the morning or going to a diner and ordering like it's modern day. I get it wasn't like that for poor people, and that everybody in the book is pretty much rich. Some of the characters know the emperor, but it's kind of like 1800 Russian rich is like today, but with less rights for women. I didn't like the Anna parts and I hate Vronsky, the guy she leaves her family for in the movie. I can't help but think of the stupid actor that played him in the movie too. I hate that actor, he's so lame. He's lame in everything I've seen him in and for some reason he's in everything too. He's a shitty guy who goes to brothels and tricks Kitty, the girl Levin loves, into thinking he'll marry her, so he can bang her, pretends to love his mom cause she's a hoe. Wow. And when he meets Anna, the first thing he hears is how much she loves her son, but starts trying to get her. It makes me mad. He knows she has a kid and thinks it's all right to go for her. He's not written as if he could be a real person either. What's weird is when Vronsky and Anna dance, the author writes Kitty's perspective to show her being humiliated, but also to show those two falling in love. Then the chapters after are Anna's perspective, but the author doesn't explain why they acted like that, just that Anna is attracted to him but is ashamed, and Vronsky is in love. I hate Vronsky, she tells him no twice when she sees him after the ball, but he keeps going after her. We have assemblies on how girls don't like guys who don't take no for an answer, but the author writes like she does. He's such a stupid character. I hate this character so much and it's worse that he's played by the stupidest actor ever, in that stupid movie. And then it's as if meeting him changed Anna so much. She doesn't find her son as good as she imagined, even though he's still the best thing in the world to her. Plus, Anna's husband isn't even bad, he's just sarcastic, but he's not cheating and trusts her, and the author says they love each other. I actually had an argument with my mom, because she said if I think Levin is the main character, then Kitty is just as important and I'll see why the author needed to show the ball from her perspective, and also because it shows the effect of Anna's actions. But it's like the author needed them to fall in love, and wrote Kitty's perspective cause it was too hard to write Anna, so he tells us she falls in love and he leaves it to us to imagine why that happens. We ended up bringing the argument into therapy, cause it got intense, cause my mom wouldn't accept that I don't think the author is that good. And my therapist said I'm projecting people in my life onto people in the book, and that just dovetailed into stuff about my dad not wanting me to go to therapy. My dad's fiance's niece and nephew moved in a few days before Canada Day. It's been weird having them around. They love the Canada Day parade, but they've been quiet and they cry a lot, like sometimes Julia has to sleep with them both. I've tried to be their friend, let them play on my PlayStation, play poker or basketball with them. I think they like my girlfriend more than me though, 'cause I think they think she's famous, but it's hard 'cause they don't know English even though they've been seeing a tutor, and when we speak Italian, I honestly don't know what they're saying half the time, 'cause of their accent, and I understand nothing when they speak Sicilian. I did bring them up in therapy once, but mom seemed kind of sad and I guess it's because I don't really know her kids at all, so I haven't since. As for therapy, my dad made Julia promise not to let them go alone, and he seemed really scared and acts so weird when they go. He's gotten into a few arguments about it with Julia, but she always shuts him down, and one time she even called my grandparents. And he's been hugging me really tightly every time I go with my mom now or come back from it, has asked how much more I need to go and if I can stop soon, and one time I think he was even crying when I came back, but he tried to hide it from me. My mom told me to let her know if he says anything about stopping me again. I guess the big thing is, my mom's not going to be working the first 2 weeks of August, so she was like, she can take me on a trip that's just us to Kelowna or Kamloops or wherever then. But it has to be in the first 2 weeks 'cause she needs to start preparing for school reopening after that. The problem is that my dad's fiancée is going back to Italy in the beginning of August, for the stuff about her sister's will, and she asked me if I wanted to come, 'cause she'll show me the University of Palermo and the University of Catania, and I can meet with advisors and stuff, and I'll get to see my grandparents. My mom got really sad when I told her about that. I feel like she wanted to cry and she said she really wanted me to stay, so we could have one last vacation. Like she said it a lot in a lot of different ways this weekend, and kept telling me her husband wouldn't come along, so I don't want to let her down, but I also really want to see my grandparents. Wow, I wrote a lot more than I wanted to, but I guess if anybody who comes here has any advice on if I should go with my mom or with Julia, I'll take it. Oh, and I hope you are enjoying the video so far. If so, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notifications to know when a new video is out. Now let's read more information the OP gave to us in the comments, before finding out what he decided. Info: is this the first time she brought up wanting to take you on vacation after you mentioned going to Italy? And specifically during these 2 weeks? If your answer is yes, then she is trying to manipulate you and I would flat out tell her no. If you have talked about a vacation before you ever mentioned Italy, then I would tell her yes, but it would need to be at a different time because you already have plans. If she's unwilling to change dates, then again, you will know she's trying to manipulate you. We weren't supposed to be going to Italy this summer, my dad isn't going, he'd be staying with my cousins. So it would just be me and Julia going. My mom brought up the idea of vacation with just us like a month ago, and Julia brought up going to Italy more recently. Why can't she start the school year prep now and shift the vacation a little later in August, so you can do both? You can always come home early from Italy by yourself. I'm not sure, I don't really get her job. She works for a tutoring center and for an adult education center, so maybe it's different than actual school, 'cause she says students start coming in early to get ahead. Maybe I'm just not understanding how she's explaining it. I kind of feel like going with my mom since it means so much to her, but at the same time it's 'cause I'm going to G12, and I know I should start preparing for university. That's why I wonder if going to Italy would be the smarter choice. My mom's not a teacher like for the school district unless she does substitute work. She mostly works for a tutoring center or at some center for adult education, and she said that in the weeks before classes start a lot of students start coming in to get ahead, so she needs to prepare for when school actually does start, 'cause otherwise everything will get hectic for her. She's been asking for a while now for us to go sometime during those first 2 weeks, and I don't know if she will move it up if I ask, but I don't want to mess up her job. I don't really get it, so I don't want to mess it up. And as for my cousins, I don't know, I just think my mom finds it weird that I'd be bonding with them but not her daughters. And Google Translate doesn't work for Sicilian, I already checked that out. What does your mom say about Julia? They don't know each other. Did she clear her leave dates with you or doesn't she have much choice in when she can take leave? Even a week earlier you could do a lot of fun activities together. Did you go to Italy regularly, pre the pandemic, and is it likely you'll have the chance to go back during the next school year? OP, yeah, I guess I can ask my mom about what works best for her. I think the thing about going before the first 2 weeks is her husband won't be able to watch their kids then. And yeah, Julia does mean a lot to me. Before the pandemic we used to go to Italy every summer and sometimes even spend the whole summer there. The plan is pretty much to move to Italy as soon as I'm done grade 12, so end of June, beginning of July. I don't know if Julia is manipulating me. I think she just wants me to go with her so we can spend time together, 'cause we haven't since her niece and nephew moved in. Julia's expectation for you to drop this vacation with your mom in favor of her speaks otherwise, however kindly meant. She can also change the dates of her spur-of-the-moment trip. You are moving over there permanently soon enough. Your mom is already mourning that. Please don't reject her for the fancier offer, and spurn that precious one-on-one time with her. Julia has to go because she needs to deal with stuff from her sister's will and has meetings set up with people about it, so she can't change the dates. She just wants me to come so we can spend some time together. I hope this question doesn't annoy you, but did your mom ever regret cheating on your dad? I'm glad everything is good now, but I'm just really curious. My mom has said she regrets how she left him. Does she regret leaving him at all? Like not just how, but everything? No, she's been pretty clear she doesn't regret leaving him. Okay, it's funny. When I first watched Anna Karenina, I had a similar opinion as OP, but years later, when I watched it again, I had a little more compassion for the character. I never read the book, I only watched the movies and TV adaptations, and I also couldn't understand the main character's decisions. I couldn't understand how she simply abandoned her son and a relatively happy marriage, with a husband who respected her to run away with her lover. And although I will never defend or accept cheating, when I watched again, I finally realized that was a very unhappy woman. Yes, she loved her son, but she was trapped in a marriage with a man he didn't choose, older than her, who, despite respecting her, she didn't love him. She was never in love with him, she never fell in love, until she meets and falls in love with her lover. And she doesn't want to live that love like the other people in that society did, having affairs, but being married with some else. I know it was the reality at the time, but she couldn't, and it wasn't like she could just ask for a divorce and marry the guy, so she ended up making decisions that she thought were the only way to be happy, but that ended up hurting a lot of people. And because of that, even though she was with her lover, she ended up leaving a prison to create another, which unfortunately, ended up leading to her premature death. Moving on from that topic and going to OP's life, I agree with the therapist when she says that he is projecting things and characters from the book onto his real life and vice versa. Regarding OP's dad, and the fact that he is so against not only OP going to therapy, but the other children as well, makes me have a very bad suspicion about what may have happened to him in therapy when he was a child. And if that's the case, I understand his apprehension and mistrust of the therapist, but still, he can't just deny what happened. If it happens what I suspect, he is the one who needs help the most. But he can't demand that others stop seeking help to overcome their own problems, because of his traumas. I really hope he will seek help for himself, and be more supportive to OP going, with or without his mom. And also, I don't think that neither his mother nor Julia are trying to manipulate him. I think they both want the best for him, and simply want to go on trips with him, and unfortunately the time they both have available is the same. So because of that, I think he should go on the trip with his mother, since he doesn't have a lot of time left to spend with her before he moves. And what do you guys think? What advice would you give OP? Don't forget to leave your comments down below. Also, OP did left his decision in the comments. So what did you do in the end? I assume my take on the decision was too late, as go with your mom for possibly the last vacation with her? Or did you go check out Italy, see where you might be studying, so you'd have a better idea of whether you want to move there with the rest of the family? I went with my mom. I'll be going to Italy on Friday, but only for a week, instead of as long as Julia originally wanted. And did you guys like OP's decision? What else would you advise to OP? Don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments down below. And that's it for today, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time.